All right, guys, quick update. As you know, in the state of Louisiana, typically August 1st is whenever new laws actually take place and go into effect. We had one more recently that is going to affect a lot of us in hopefully a positive way if it's handled the right way. The days of taking a pocket knife and having to whip out your blade like that are over if you do it the right way. Now, these are legal again. These guys right here, a fully automatic Switchblade auto knife, they're legal again in the state of Louisiana after some 30, 40 years of prohibition of these types of knives. Now, we have a whole nother video that we're putting together that's going to explain the history of this and how this happened. It's just like anything else. Propaganda, fear-mongering, and things like that actually made Switchblades illegal back in the 50s. And finally, this was overturned. Now, the thing we have to understand is, in order to get, I wouldn't say the buy-in from local sheriffs and local police, but let's just say the neutrality that was needed in order for them not to push against repealing that old law, there were some things that had to be built into this law to make it palatable for them. One of those things was that you cannot intentionally conceal one of these guys. Now, what do you mean by intentionally conceal? That is, in essence, what I like to consider a loophole. It gives law enforcement, this is where you got to be careful, it gives law enforcement the opportunity to say, yes, Paul has a fully automatic Switchblade, but if they like me, or they're not trying to throw additional charges at me, they can say, but he was not intentionally concealing it. But if, and it could be sitting in the bottom of my pocket where you could not see it. Or if they don't like me and they're trying to pile additional charges on me, this is not a conspiracy, this is obviously how laws work, you guys know this, they can say that I was intentionally concealing this, therefore I am carrying it illegally. There's some other things in play that they're trying to do to remove that portion of it so that you don't have that ambiguity in there where somebody could actually have additional charges whenever they truly are not trying to officially conceal it. This one comes, this is, by the way, this is a Benchmade Infidel is what it's called. The going price on this is probably going to be about 360 bucks. Very well made knife. I will be doing a full review on this. This thing is fully automatic. As you can see, the knife comes out the front and you've got a sharp blade on both sides of it. It has a pocket clip on it. So I will get clarification before I do my other videos, but I'm assuming this pocket clip makes it not intentionally concealable. In other words, if you had it hanging on your pocket with the clip visible, maybe that's not fully intentionally concealable, but if it's sitting in the bottom of your pocket where you cannot see that, then you may be considered to be, or at least you're allowing that door to be kept open to hit you with that charge of intentionally concealing. But this is to me a big win, especially in knife rights. Typically the same kind of rhetoric that we see on gun rights happens in knife rights. So to me, this is a big deal, and it's pretty cool that it happened in the state of Louisiana where we actually reside. So go out and get you one if you get a chance to. Just be careful. Again, read up on the laws. You have to understand one more thing. Local and municipal laws can still supersede some of these. So like say New Orleans, for instance. In New Orleans, it is still illegal to carry one of these, no matter what condition you're carrying it in, fully concealable, not concealable, or whatever. So definitely seek those local areas and find out what those independent laws are within the state, within parishes, counties. To those of you guys who aren't from Louisiana, we have parishes instead of counties. Check local ordinances, town ordinances, things like that, just to make sure, be on the safe side, that you're not unintentionally breaking a law and you say, you don't want to cite the law and then they say not here. So check on that before you go somewhere, especially if you're traveling. I know football season's coming upon us. If you're going somewhere else, and you tend on bringing this for protection, make sure that you check those other areas and find that their laws are going to cover you. And if they're not, don't carry it. Because this thing right here, again, my review of it is going to show you a lot. I think it's a great tool. I think it's a great tool when you can't carry a handgun, or when you can carry a handgun and can't get to it. So there's a lot of moving parts in how one of these things actually comes into play. And I'm very interested in showing you guys that. We'll have that video coming up very soon where we review this particular knife, and we also go more in depth on how this prohibition on Switchblade started in the first place.